So today we are discussing about organometallic compounds. So in that, first of all, we are discussing long questions, and then after we will discussing short questions. So in long questions, first of all, discuss the transition metal alkene complex, or it can be asked like discuss the two electron donor complexes. Okay. So second questions, discuss the transition metal alkyne complex or acetylenic complex or two electron donor complexes. So in question, it may be right like discuss the metal alkene two electron donor complex, or it can be asked like discuss the transition metal alkyne complex. In the same way, it can be asked like metal allyl complex or three electron donor complexes. In the same transition metal butadiene complexes or four electron donor complexes. In the same way, it can be asked like transition metal cyclopentadienyl complex, or it also known as metallocene complexes, or 5 electron donor species. Sixth question may be asked like discuss the transition metal arene complex or 6 electron donor complexes. So in seventh question, it may be asked like discuss the role of organometallic compounds in catalytic reactions, or it can be asked like the role of activation of small molecules by organometallic compounds. So in that, you have to write certain reactions, like you have to explain it: hydrosylation reaction, hydroboration reaction, hydrocyanation reaction, alcohol carbonylation reaction, CC cross coupling reactions, as you are already discussed or seen in pedalium catalyst, alkene and alkyne metathesis or hydrogenation reactions, right? You have to discuss this all type of reactions, or you can be discussed only 3 or 4 reactions out of 7. In the above long questions, you have to first of all write how it can be generated. Like suppose if you are asking discuss the transition metal alkene complexes, so first of all you have to write in which method it can be prepared or it can be generated from. Okay, then you have to write the structural and bonding, which type of bonding takes place, structural properties you have to mention it, and you have to write their color if any complex shown by binding with any reagent, or we can say like any metal. So then after you have to add some structural features also, and then after at last you have to add the uses of any species, like you have to asking transition metal alkene complex, then you have to write their uses also. Main you have to draw a figure for any complex. You have to like transition metal alkene complex, so it can be subdivided like cis geometry, trans geometry, so you have to write in that. I'm discussing this also in short questions, so you can be seen on that also. So first of all, we are discussing short type questions. So basic these two you have to remember, like PPH3 and C5H5, it's just a neutral ligand. Like I am writing here, in question you may ask like calculate the number of electrons for any X with by neutral atom method and oxidation state method. So in any short questions you may ask like you have given any species like CrCO6. So you have to find oxidation number, or you may be asked like by which method, like neutral atom method or oxidation state method. You can find their FTCT also, or it may be asked only its oxidation number also. So first of all, first question: name one OMC which having same number of electron in oxidation state method and neutral atom method. So dibenzene chromium. If you are finding this molecule, so if you are calculating from by any oxidation state method and neutral atom method, it may be same like it having 18 electron, 6 electron donated by the chromium and another 6 from C6H6. Here two, so 2 indicates C6 has 2 more, 2 2 moles of C6H6 is used. So here 6 and another 6 plus 6 12. So total 18 electrons are there in fulfill. Then after it may be asked like what is the color of J salt? Most IMP questions like in SQ it may be asked. It is a yellow color. It is a yellow color in nature. Here are the two difference like stannous chloride if having SnCl2 and stannic chloride. Stannous and stannic it can be come from the oxidation number of if Sn having plus 3 oxidation state then it may be known as a stannic chloride, and if tin having oxidation number plus 2 then it having stannous chloride. Based on the oxidation number name changes. Here I'm just writing the first metal alkene pi donor complex was formed by J scientist in 1827 by refluxing an alcoholic solution of PtCl4. It just for point of view knowledge you can read it. It not be asked in your exam like in short questions. In metal alkyne complex, if electrophilic attack, which type of product? So you may be asked like cis addition or trans addition. So in electrophilic attack, you give only a cis additions, and in nucleophilic attack, it will give trans addition. Here the main IMP is like most of the Grignard reaction are occurred in tetrahydrofuran. It may be asked like in which solvent or in which compound the most of the Grignard reaction are occurred or formed. Here another SQ like what do you mean by the homoleptic and pyrophoric terms? It may be asked like in one questions like homoleptic means identical groups are present with any metal, then it will be known as a homoleptic. If different metal are used, then it is known as a pyrophoric. Or we can say like spontaneously ignition takes place with air. Like as we know, sodium metal, as you are doing sodium metal, it is always stored in the kerosene, so it can't react or absorb with air. Give the reaction of oxidative addition and reductive elimination for platinum for palladium. So here is a mistake with palladium. So here oxidative addition means oxidation takes place. So here PD0 is converted into PD plus 2, and reductive elimination means reduction. So PD plus 2 it's converted into PD0. So in seventh question here are the different of the organic solvent that are used in OMC or in any technique it can be also be used. It's just a general question. It can't be asked, but you have to remember it. So this type of questions like they can be asked like give the structure of trans eta 3 C3H5 twice nickel and cis form. Here are the structure. If the same side eta 3 C3H5 joined, then it can be called as a cis. If the different side, then it can be called as a trans. So named on the scientist, it can be asked like the first cyclopentadienyl compound of transition metal was found by Kale and Paulson. It can be asked like give reaction of it. So you have to give the reactions, cyclopentadienyl compound. Here are the inorganic and organic bases. It only based on the practical knowledge. You have to remember it. It is also 12th question is also based on the practical based. What is the role of organic base? So to accept the acidic proton or to quench the HX from hydrogen. Here are the write the conformers of ferrocene. So it can be staggered and eclipsed from ferrocene. So it can be asked like what is the point group of staggered ferrocene? So D5 D point group, and what is the point group of eclipsed ferrocene? So it is D5H point group. So in that, what is the color of ferrocene? Like me, it is just like a metallocene, 5 electron donor. So in metallocene and metal arene complexes, you have to remember some of the color of complexes. If I change iron by nickel, then what will be the color? You have to remember like that. Or it can be if iron is replaced by manganese, then what will be the color of the complex? So you have to write. You have to just learn this. Why ferrocene is decomposed at 500 degrees Celsius? It can be asked like, so here chromium is acts as an oxidizing agent. That's why it is decomposed at 500 degrees Celsius. Here just give the names of high boiling solvents, DMF, dimethylfuran, DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, xylene. The first metal arene complex was given by F. Hen. It may be asked. Uh, this is the most IMP. Write an equation for Fisher and Hefner method. What is the color of dibenzene chromium? So dibenzene chromium can be write like this: C6H6 chromium. So here you are asking it is just like metal ion complexes. So you have to learn this color of all the metallocene and metal ion complexes, dark brown solid. Which scientist is used in hydroxylation? Hydroxylation reaction. So it is the role of the organometallic. Question number 7 in long question that we are discussing. Chuck Horrod mechanism is there. So it can be asked like which process is used for the production of acetic acid manufacturing Monsanto process. Worldwide it is used. And main questions like what is the value of delta G and delta H for hydrogenation reaction? You have to remember this value. For delta H, enthalpy minus 136 kilojoule per mole, and for Gibbs free energy minus 101 kilojoule per mole. It can be also be asked like what is the structure of Wilkinson catalyst, or it can be asked like what do you mean by the Wilkinson catalyst? So chloro, tris, triphenyl phosphine, rhodium. So it may be asked like the structure, like you have to write like this: RH, here PPH3. As we are knowing that PPH3 is just a neutral ligand. So rhodium having +1 oxidation number due to chloride ion present. So chlorine here is a negative charge, -1. And here rhodium having +1. So it can be asked like what is the oxidation number of rhodium in Wilkinson catalyst. So it can be asked like this also. So here are the structure of Wilkinson catalyst. So here are the long questions and short questions of organometallic compounds. So in my favor, it may be first, fourth, and fifth are the IMP ones from my point of view, because generally it is asked in university exams and internal also. So here are the short questions. Thank you all for listening me. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much.